everyone, today I'm reviewing Blackheart by Holly Black, and I hope you like the review. Anyways, Blackheart is the third and final book in the Curse Workers trilogy by Holly Black. I will have some minor-ish, spoilers, I guess, of what happened at the end of Red Glove, but nothing, major. Well, maybe a little major, but I don't know. Nothing you can't get from the back cover. So if you haven't read Red Glove or whatever and you don't really want to get spoiled, I guess you can skip this video right now. Anyways, the basic summary is that our boy Castle Sharp has kind of teamed up with the feds only to find out that they want to use his power as a weapon for the greater good. And he thought he'd left all that stuff behind when he joined them because he perceived them as the good guys. He thought he was going to be doing the right thing. However, the lines between good and bad are blurred once again as Castle tries to get to the bottom of what seems like endless mysteries. Now the review. I love this book. I absolutely loved it, but 85% of the time. So there is that but factor, but I will get to that after. I just want to start by saying this is actually one of my favorite series after I've read it, and I can say this confidently because I feel like it's such a unique, imaginative, and creative premise that really ties in both curse working and the real world, and I loved how Holly Black showed how the society has been shaped because of this. It's there has been repercussions because of the discovery of curse workers and things like that. So it's not really our world, but it is very, very similar. I really, really liked it, and it did remind me of X-Men for those of you who have seen the film. I loved seeing how the author portrayed regular people and how their opinions on the curse workers were developed. The setup for Blackheart does not disappoint, and I've come to expect masterful storytelling from Holly Black, and that is because I was actually surprised by how good the first two books were, and I was determined not to underestimate this last one. Despite these really high expectations, I completely believe that Holly Black delivered, and that fans are going to love this book. The cons are full of badassery, and really, I don't really want to tell you anything more than that because that is probably my absolute favorite part of the book, and I just loved it. I love seeing the return of all these familiar characters I've grown to love, and I really enjoyed how the secondary characters have been developed over this series as well, especially Sam and Danica, who are Castle's two best friends almost. I really, really liked their story, and I did find that sometimes I found that their side plot did get in the way a little bit, but however, it was still interesting and I still want to read about it, so it didn't bother me too much. I'm gonna throw in Baron as well, Castle's brother, as another character I love. This guy is just deliciously sociopathic yet completely sympathetic, and I'll tell you by the end of the book I'm rooting for him. I was probably rooting for him throughout the entire novel. I just loved how complex his character was. I really, really loved Castle's internal conflict regarding Lila, because let's face it, this is a guy who has actually I don't even know how to articulate because it is just such a weird, unique dynamic between the two, because he's totally almost obsessively in love with her, yet it feels like she doesn't feel anything for him, and he knows that he can't do anything because let's face it, Castle Sharp is a good guy at heart, and that's basically what embodies the entire series, is how Castle's trying to do the right thing, and trying to do the right thing, he sometimes he messes up. But anyways, I loved how he was so conflicted over Lila, and I loved to see how their relationship developed, and I thought it was handled extremely well. I really also enjoyed the ending, after the big climax, which was really good. I really liked how open-ended it was, and it felt like the series was ended, but it was almost left open for more, and I really liked that because I'm crossing my fingers for another book. Something I didn't like as much about this book compared to the past two, and I know this is a personal opinion, I feel like it had a different kind of vibe and feel to it. I really, really loved how White Cat and Red Glove both had this almost mobster noir feel to it. However, for Blackheart, I actually thought it felt a lot more like a paranormal book, but not in the sense you're thinking. It's not like it's angels or magic or whatever, but it's just that it felt like there was a reality and then there was a guy, people with superpowers, as opposed to this whole underworld type of mobster type of thing. I don't know if that makes sense, but I missed that aspect because that's what I really also loved about the first two books. I felt like this one was just a bit more grounded and a bit more here's a splash of curse working, as opposed to curse working tied completely all into it. I really liked the plot, and I want to throw that out there. I loved it. I loved the inclusion of the feds. I loved Castle. his journey throughout the book. I was impressed with myself because I could guess a couple things, and there were also a couple moments where I was like, why can't you figure it out? It's right in front of you. So that did annoy me because I always like to be surprised, but I always end up guessing, trying to figure it out. So that too. I'm just gonna wrap this review. I'm gonna give this book, Black Heart, I'm giving it 9 out of 10, and that's an excellent score. If you don't like my scoring system, too bad. I really enjoyed it. It was a great ending, and I loved Castle Sharp in this series. I cannot stress that enough. I loved him so much, and I think he really made the whole book because he was just unique, different, but good guy. But he was conflicted and had emotional depth, and I really liked that part. I thought the writing was great. It was interesting, fast-paced. It was also a first-person present tense type of narration, and sometimes I just notice it and then I just let it slip, and I really liked the way it was used in this book because it felt like it was more immediate and the action was more immediate. So, great book, great characters, lots of secondary characters, premise was interesting, plot was great. It had a different kind of feel to it, but other than that, I think it was really great, and I would hugely recommend the series if you haven't seen it already. So, yeah, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this review. If you have read this book or you have read this series, I would love to know what you thought in the comments below, and have a great day, guys. Bye!